Hello guys, what's up? Today we are going to talk about this Norwegian Danish director that in the recent years grew up a lot. And in my regards, he deserves to be under the lights because he's very talented and he will break the cinema soon. He breaks out recently with his last movie that been to Cannes. The name, maybe you know, is Sentimental Value. As far as I'm concerned, it is an absolute masterpiece, and I will recommend to you to go to the cinemas to see it because it's a very ripe movie. Before starting with that, I want to show you how I'm going to schedule all my plans for the director's video. So for instance, now I'm going to talk about Joachim Trier. I will divide the topics in defined chapters. A summary of the life, therefore his philosophy, his shots, his style, a list of the movies, and lastly, my own point of view about the director and why, in my opinion, is special. So, we are going to start with the first chapter, that is the life. He was born in 1974 from a Danish father and Norwegian mother, but he grew up and raised in Oslo, so in the capital of Norway. These two countries are very important for the philosophy of Joachim. The part of the father, so the grandpa and the father, worked already in Danish movies. In fact, the job of the grandpa was a filmmaker, while father was a sound technician. In order to that, Joachim started to soak into that system. When he was an adolescent, he was a champion of skateboarding. He was used to record his skills with the phone, but at the time it wasn't ordinary. We were not in the web era, we are in the 90s, so another kind of point of view was strange that a guy recorded himself with that fluency without any kind of purpose, only for that. He involved his passion for cinema and started to study firstly in a film school in Ebelfort in Denmark, and afterwards he went to London to study in the TV school university, and he made his first short that it gained to him an important achievement in the Edinburgh Festival. The name of the short is Proctor, and I recommend to you to see that because he started to show this incredible weird style theme that I'm going to point out in the next chapter of the video. Well, after being involved in a lot of shorts, European cinema industry, he arrived to make his first long shot in 2007. The name of this movie is Reprise and is the first movie of a trilogy, the trilogy of Oslo, the Norwegian trilogy, that is linked with Oslo 31 of August and The Worst Person in the World, that are two important movies of him. In the next decade, he started to reach the peak of his career at the moment. He gained a lot of recognition, it became a linchpin, a point of reference of Cannes Film Festival with a lot of prizes, but without reaching the Palme d'Or yet. What to say about the philosophy of this great director? Firstly, we have to say that he's concerned about the problems, the crisis of defined people. In each movie, he talks about a generation, a kind of people, pointing out the individual's crisis. He will headline all the crises of the society. His movies are like the inland mind of these individuals in his crisis. A melancholy meditation about that. These people are concerned about overthinking, about existential questions in love, in future, in society, in job, or in the world. They feel a bit alone, even if they are surrounded by a lot of people that take care of them. One of the most important themes of his movie is how in a fast society he describes the individuals that struggle too much to step close aside with the rhythm of the nowadays society. And this is mainly a problem of the young people. In fact, the movies come with me a lot of pressure about my reality, what I'm going to face, what I have to face, and what are my obstacles, and how I have to dodge them. The movies are always the same structure. People that trying to feel better, try to find a role, a goal in their life. He faced all the crises of the 30 years in The Worst Person in the World, fear of the drugs, of the young problems, like a Gus Van Sant movie, but in Oslo 31 it's all like that. But also the relationship between the families, how they are treated well, educated well. For that reason, for that psychological reason that is very important, it's like to see a Bergman movie in a certain way. The actors are very crucial in its operas. Let's see how he's going to show his philosophy in movies. The thing that hit me the most about his style is this cold-hot relationship in his movies, because these individuals are very intimate. They convey to us a lot of emotions, but he reached that with a cold style. The photography is like the North European usual director, so steady shots, long wide range shots for a long time. Usually you want to be intimate, a narrow shot of the face, very close, to see all the details. Instead, Trier, he always felt with this distance, so you can feel the distance, but in the same time, you are inside of them. And that's very powerful, because it's not easy to do that. Despite there's a focus of an individual in its movies, I have to say that there's a lot of lines of narration that are very difficult to intertwine all the characters together. And there's a perfection of the screenplay in every movies of him, and that's very, very talented, because it's difficult to find a gap, a lack in his narrative statement, and they are very complicated. If you see sentimental value, that in my opinion, I'm not on rush to say that in an objective way is his best movie, because there is no mistake in the screenplay. All the facilities, directors of shot, the editing, colors, the actors are in a relationship and they fit well together. He merged all the ingredients that technically don't fit well together at all, but instead he reached to create a perfect symphony, and that's a huge talent of him. I have to highlight also the special effect that sometimes he uses. For example, in Thelma, that is the most different movies of him, but is focused about an individual crisis as well, with a lot of special effect. He made a Bergman movie with Gaspar Noé style, so it's very, very strange, and is not untuned at all. Sometimes he uses the slow motion, but in an elegant way. His rhythm is very slow. He stopped the shots with a shading, and then he came back, so you are aware that you are in a movie, especially for the distance with the characters. But despite that, you are inside them. You firstly don't understand the behaviors of the characters in the scene straight away, but in a second time, you understand perfectly, and you are comprehensive, and you empathize with them. And it's crazy because in only 2 hours of movie, you reach to empathize with the characters in a so powerful way that a lot of TV series that lasting a lot of time don't reach at all. About style and about philosophy, he has different kind of reference directors. For example, about style, it's certain that his style is similar to Haneke, is a bit similar to Roy Andersson, to Winterberg, to Bergman. Instead, as a philosophy of inner people, of screenplay, he rather see other kind of directors. I'm going to list the movies now. The first movie is Reprise, that, as I said, is the first part of a trilogy. There is no narrative link about these 3 movies. They're only thematics that are the same, or there's some connection about that. Afterwards, there's Oslo 31 of August. That is a very nice movie. I will recommend a lot. Then there's Louder Than Bombs. After this, there's Thelma. Then The Worst Person in the World. And finally, in my opinion, the best one, Sentimental Value. To conclude, if I had to make a forecast about his career, you need to take a look about the next works of him, because in my opinion he already started his peak, and it will not end up soon. I wish in the future to have a style in a certain way close to him, because I really appreciate this way to be hot and cold at the same time. Very special. And it's very talented, because I don't know how can he do that. Because in the same way, I'm a person that is fascinated by this cold style, but instead I want to be thriller, I want to comedy and go into people, the individuals. Anyway, I recommend to you to go to the cinema to see his movies, and I will see you with the next video. I hope you appreciate that. If you do, press the like button and write me in a comment below. Thank you guys.